2024 is on the move, and it's already shaping up to be a very big year for TV. Among the new shows coming your way are some recognizable titles via various adaptations, along with the biggest of the big franchises dropping their latest and some brand new original stories ready to be told too. It's all on an extra large episode of this week's What to Watch.
You are in charge of 35 planes and 350 air crewmen.
Don't you die on me before I get over there.
Landing on Apple TV Plus in January is the drama miniseries Masters of the Air. This show is considered a companion to the Certified Fresh miniseries Band of Brothers from 2001 and The Pacific from 2010. And much like those projects, this one was executive produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. Masters of the Air takes place during World War II and is based on the popular 2007 book by Donald L. Miller about members of the Air Force's 100th Bomb Group who fought the air war against the Nazis.
They didn't bring up that we'd be paired until the last interview.
It's an old KGB tactic. You draw less attention as a couple.
Coming in early February to Netflix is the spy comedy Mr. and Mrs. Smith. No, it's not the 2005 movie with Brangelina, go ask your parents about that nickname, kids, but rather a brand new show based on that movie. Created by Donald Glover and Francesca Sloan, who was most recently a writer on Glover's show, Atlanta. He also stars in this one as the Mr. with Maya Erskine as the Mrs. Two strangers who end up working for a mysterious spy agency while posing as a married couple. And they're not alone in this story, with a strong supporting cast that includes Paul Dano, Sarah Paulson, and Alexander Skarsgård, to name a few. To help warm you up in late February will be the live-action series version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is an adaptation of the popular animated series of the same name that ran for 3 100% fresh seasons on Nickelodeon. So a lot to live up to, or a great foundation already set, depends on how you look at it. The promising young cast is led by Gordon Cormier as Aang, a 12-year-old airbender who was frozen in ice for 100 years and emerges to find a war-torn world that he needs to save. Cormier is coming off a big role in the 2020 miniseries The Stand and will now be standing front and center as the face of this Netflix series.
Do not be fooled by our politeness. Our bows are made of rituals. Death is in our air.
Also arriving in late February will be the historical drama series Shogun. This Hulu FX show is based on the popular 1975 novel of the same name by James Clavell, which was previously adapted into a miniseries in 1980. And if you think that sounds like a long time ago, well, the story is set in the year 1600 and follows Lord Yoshi Toranaga, played by Hiroyuki Sanada, as he tries to defeat his enemies. This series was created by husband and wife team Justin Marks and Rachel Kondo. Justin was one of the writers for Top Gun: Maverick and also created the star's espionage thriller Counterpart.
Lovely to meet you, Madam Chancellor. Good. Love this Kingfisher blue. Or try not to get blood on it.
Hitting HBO in March is a miniseries called The Regime. This show looks at a year inside a fictional Central European autocracy as the regime that's running it begins to unravel. The show features an all-star cast led by Kate Winslet as the Chancellor of the autocracy, Martha Plimpton as the U.S. Secretary of State, and Hugh Grant as the leader of the opposition, whose imprisonment is a central storyline for the series.
There must be 30 dead scientists in the past month. Christ. Another countdown.
Hitting Netflix on March 21st is the sci-fi series called Three Body Problem. This show was created by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who brought us Game of Thrones, and Alexandra Rue, who was a writer on True Blood. And the cast also features some recognizable GOT faces like John Bradley, Liam Cunningham, and Jonathan Pryce. Three Body Problem is based on the 2008 novel of the same name by Liu Cixin. It centers around a decision made by an astrophysicist in 1960s China that reverberates across space and time into the present day, becoming the greatest threat in humanity's history, which is, we gotta wait till March.
You need to go home. Vault dwellers are an endangered species. I do not think you would be willing to do what it takes to survive up here.
April will be bringing the post-apocalyptic drama series Fallout. This show is of course based on the widely popular and long-running role-playing video game franchise that has been around since 1997, and it's Westworld creators Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy who are taking it from the game console to Prime Video. The series stars Ella Purnell of Yellow Jackets fame as Lucy, the main protagonist. Meanwhile, Walton Goggins, who is great in everything he does, plays the Ghoul, a mutated bounty hunter who has seen some things, or aka the guy from the trailer who is missing a nose. Slated for late 2024 is the new Marvel series Agatha Darkhold Diaries. This MCU show is actually a spin-off from 2021's WandaVision, with fan favorite Kathryn Hahn reprising her role as Agatha Harkness, a witch who showed up on that series to try and steal Wanda Maximoff's powers. Spoiler alert, I guess. Darkhold Diaries takes place after the events of WandaVision, with Agatha on a quest to get her old powers back, and she brings along an unlikely crew of witches to help her, played by folks like Aubrey Plaza and Patti LuPone.
The world ain't built for guys like us. That's why we gotta take whatever we decide is ours.
Emerging on Max in late 2024 is the DC series The Penguin. This is a spin-off from the certified fresh film The Batman from 2022, picking up 1 week after the film's events and looking at the Penguin's rise to power in Gotham City's bad guy underworld. Reprising his role from the movie is Colin Farrell as the Penguin, who will be going toe to Finn with Sofia Falcone, played by Kristen Milioti, a daughter of crime boss Carmine Falcone, who is looking to take criminal control after her father's death. And while we're talking about staple franchises with new series, we gotta mention the 7th live-action Disney Plus Star Wars show, The Acolyte. This one takes place at the end of the High Republic era, about 100 years before the events of The Phantom Menace, when a former Padawan teams back up with her Jedi Master to investigate a string of crimes. The Acolyte was created by Leslie Headland, who co-created Netflix's Russian Doll, and stars Amandla Stenberg as the former Padawan and Lee Jung-jae as her Jedi Master. Carrie-Anne Moss also plays a Jedi in this one, because that's just what badasses do. There you go, 10 new titles to get you all revved up about the year 2024 in TV. Be sure to let us and your fellow viewers know in the comments what you're most excited for, whether it was on this list or not. Remember to check out RottenTomatoes.com for the latest updates on scores and reviews for everything mentioned, as well as the movie and TV world at large. That's all for today, Fresh Family. Until next week, stay fresh.